My child, pause whatever you are doing and listen to me right now with your full attention. There is something absolutely critical you need to know about what has been happening in your life over the past several years of struggle and hardship. Something that will finally make complete sense of the chaos, the confusion, and the relentless waves of difficulty that have crashed against you again and again. What I am about to reveal to you today will fundamentally change how you see every single struggle you have endured. The enemy tried to destroy you, not figuratively speaking, not metaphorically as some spiritual concept. Literally and actually tried to end your existence. There was a coordinated, deliberate assault launched against your life with the specific and sole intention of ending you before you could fulfill the massive purpose I placed inside you before you were ever born into this world. But he failed completely. His plan did not succeed. His attacks did not accomplish their objective. You are still here, breathing and living. You are still standing despite everything designed to knock you down permanently. You are receiving this specific message at this exact moment in time because every single attempt on your destiny was blocked by a power infinitely greater than any darkness that has ever existed in any realm. Now let me tell you what I have planned for you going forward, because my plans are about to accelerate in ways that will leave both you and all of your enemies absolutely speechless and confused. My precious child, I watched every single one of the attacks unfold against you. I saw the night 3 years ago when you sat alone in complete darkness and wondered if life was even worth continuing anymore. That moment of absolute and total desperation, when the weight of everything pressing down on you felt like it would crush you completely and end your ability to keep going. That was not random depression caused by brain chemistry or circumstance. That was a targeted spiritual assassination attempt against your future designed by hell itself. The enemy had carefully calculated that if he could push you to that breaking point, if he could make the pain unbearable and the hopelessness absolutely complete, you would take yourself out of the equation before I could ever use you to damage his kingdom in the ways I intended. But something held you back from that edge. Something whispered to your spirit that tomorrow might be different than today. Something kept you breathing through that terrible night when everything in you wanted to stop fighting. That something was me, working through forces you could not see. My hand was firmly on you, even when you could not feel my presence at all. My voice was speaking life over you, even when all you could hear were the voices of death and despair. I saw the betrayal that almost broke you completely and permanently, the person you trusted with everything, who you opened your heart to without reservation, who turned around and used your vulnerabilities against you in the most devastating way possible. They knew your deepest secrets. They knew your greatest weaknesses. They knew exactly where to strike to cause the maximum possible damage to your soul. That betrayal was not just human cruelty or personal failing on their part. It was a strategic spiritual operation designed by the enemy himself to isolate you from everyone who might help you rise to your calling. He knew with certainty that if you stopped trusting people after that wound, you would stop receiving from the divine connections I was trying to establish in your life for your breakthrough. I saw the financial devastation that swept through your entire world like a violent storm. The job loss that came without any warning or time to prepare. The bills that piled up until they seemed absolutely insurmountable and impossible to overcome. The constant crushing stress of not knowing how you would survive another month or even another week. That was not bad luck, or economic circumstance, or poor decisions on your part. That was deliberate financial warfare, designed to keep you so distracted by basic survival that you would never have the mental, emotional, or spiritual capacity to pursue your actual purpose. The enemy knows from centuries of experience that a person consumed by lack cannot think about legacy. A person drowning in debt cannot dream about destiny. I saw the health crisis that struck when you were already weakened by everything else happening in your life. The symptoms that appeared from nowhere without explanation. The fear that gripped your heart when doctors could not immediately explain what was happening to your body. A physical weakness that made every single day a battle just to function at the most basic level. That was not random illness or genetic bad luck or the natural result of stress. That was biological warfare launched against a body that carries an anointing the enemy finds deeply threatening to his plans. He attacked your physical health because he could not directly access your spirit. Your faith was simply too strong for direct assault. So he went after your flesh, hoping to weaken you enough to eventually reach your soul. I also witnessed the attack on your mind that intensified during your weakest moments. The thoughts that flooded your consciousness that did not originate with you. The voices of doubt and despair that seemed to come from inside your own head, but were actually planted there by forces of darkness. The mental exhaustion that made simple decisions feel impossible and complex ones feel crushing. This mental warfare was perhaps the most insidious of all the attacks, because when the enemy attacks your mind, you often cannot tell the difference between his suggestions and your own thoughts. You believed his lies were your conclusions. You accepted his accusations as your honest self-assessment. You internalized his condemnation as deserved guilt. My dear one, I am telling you all of these things not to frighten you or make you paranoid. I am telling you to validate what you have sensed for years, but could never fully prove or articulate to others. You knew deep in your spirit that something was fundamentally wrong with what you were experiencing. You knew the level of difficulty in your life exceeded normal human experience by a significant margin. You wondered constantly why everything seemed harder for you than for others around you who appeared to coast through life with relative ease. You questioned whether you were somehow cursed or completely forgotten or simply cosmically unlucky. None of those things are true. Not one of them accurately describes your situation. The truth is far more significant than any of those explanations. The intensity of the attack against you is directly and mathematically proportional to the magnitude of the threat you pose to the kingdom of darkness. The enemy does not waste his limited ammunition on people who are not going anywhere important. He does not launch coordinated multi-front assaults against those who carry no significant anointing or world-changing purpose. You have been under heavy fire for years because you are carrying heavy purpose that could shift the balance of spiritual power in your region, your sphere of influence, and potentially far beyond. But here is what the enemy completely miscalculated in his strategy against you. Here is where his plan fell apart, despite all his schemes. Here is the plot twist in this story that changes absolutely everything. He thought suffering would destroy your faith. Instead, suffering deepened your faith and made it unshakable. He thought isolation would make you bitter and hard. Instead, isolation drove you closer to me and made your relationship with me the strongest it has ever been. He thought financial lack would make you abandon your calling and settle for survival. Instead, financial lack taught you to depend on my provision rather than your own limited efforts. Everything he designed for your destruction became raw material for your development. The very weapons that were formed against you have been transformed into tools for your victory. The scars he gave you through painful experiences have become credentials for the ministry you will carry. The pain he inflicted has become the foundation for a compassion that will reach others no one else can reach. The tears he caused have watered seeds of breakthrough that are about to bear fruit you cannot yet imagine. My beloved, let me show you in greater detail what was happening behind the scenes while you were barely surviving each day. While you were crying out in prayer and wondering if I even heard your voice at all, I was strategically positioning you for something so significant that it required extensive and sometimes painful preparation. While you were questioning my goodness and wondering if I had abandoned you to your enemies, I was working on circumstances you could not see with your natural eyes. While you were doubting my love because of what you were experiencing, I was protecting opportunities that have your name written on them and reserving them for the perfect moment. 7 years ago, at a specific moment in heavenly time, I saw this exact moment when you would receive this message. I saw you exactly where you are right now, reading these words or hearing this voice. And I began orchestrating a deliverance so complete and so dramatic that your testimony will free thousands of others who are currently trapped in the same darkness you are now leaving behind. Let me explain some of the specific protections that were operating in your life, even during the worst of the attacks. That relationship that ended painfully 3 years ago, the one that shattered your heart and left you questioning everything about yourself, that was not your loss. Though it felt like the end of everything at the time, if that person had remained in your life, within 12 months, they would have destroyed your reputation through false accusations that would have taken years to overcome. I saw their jealousy festering beneath the surface of their smiling face. I saw the plot forming in their heart against you, even while they spoke words of love. I removed them from your life before they could execute their plan of destruction. The heartbreak was the surgery that saved you from far greater devastation. That job you lost was not punishment for something you did wrong. That company was about to go through a scandal and collapse that would have tainted everyone associated with it professionally. The layoff that devastated you at the time was actually an extraction operation that saved your professional reputation and your future career. 6 months after you left, the investigation began. People who remained were questioned. Reputations were destroyed by association. Your forced departure was divine timing that you could not appreciate when it was happening because you could not see what was coming. That door that would not open no matter how hard you knocked. The opportunity you pursued relentlessly that kept rejecting you. That was not cosmic rejection of your worth or ability. Behind that door was a trap disguised as opportunity. What looked like the answer to your desperate prayers was actually the enemy's carefully crafted bait to pull you into a situation designed to compromise your integrity and permanently derail your destiny. Every single closed door in your life was actually a saved life. Every rejection was precise redirection. Every no that brought you tears was secretly a protective yes to something infinitely better. My chosen one, the enemy thought he was writing your ending with all these attacks. But all along I have been writing your beginning. What you thought was the conclusion of your story was actually just the introduction. The years of struggle were the preface that established context. The chapters of pain were building the necessary background for the chapters of triumph that are about to unfold in rapid succession. I have been writing a story of redemption with your life that will be told for generations after you are gone. A story that will give hope to those who have completely given up. A story that will demonstrate my power to transform what the enemy destroys into monuments of my glory that stand as testimonies for centuries. My treasured one, let me reveal more about the spiritual dynamics that have been at work in your situation. 12 angels were assigned to your protection from the moment the major attacks began 7 years ago. These were not general guardian angels with broad responsibilities. These were specialist warriors dispatched specifically for the intensity of what was coming against you. The first 3 angels were assigned to protect your mind from complete takeover. The enemy's strategy was to drive you to insanity or despair so deep that you would remove yourself from the equation. These angels stood guard over your thought life, filtering the attacks, reducing their intensity to survivable levels, and whispering truth when lies were screaming. The next 3 angels were assigned to protect your physical body. The attacks on your health were designed to be fatal, not just debilitating. Diseases that were sent to kill you were downgraded to inconveniences. Accidents that were orchestrated to take your life resulted in near misses that left you shaken but alive. You have escaped death more times than you know. Another 3 angels were assigned to protect your relationships from complete destruction. The enemy wanted total isolation. He wanted you cut off from everyone who could encourage you, support you, or speak truth into your darkness. These angels preserved key connections, even when the enemy was working overtime to sever them all. The final 3 angels were assigned to protect your purpose from being completely derailed. Even during the worst seasons, something kept pulling you forward. Something kept you connected to the sense that you were meant for more. That was not random persistence. That was angelic preservation of your calling against forces that wanted to make you forget it completely. You did not survive by accident or luck. You survived by supernatural intervention that was working constantly even when you could not feel or see it. The enemy filed complaints against you in the heavenly courts. He brought accusations based on your failures, your sins, your moments of weakness. He demanded the right to destroy you completely, based on legal grounds he thought he had established. But I stood as your advocate. Every accusation was answered. Every charge was countered with the blood that was shed for your redemption. Every demand for destruction was denied, because your life belongs to me and not to him. The legal battles that were fought over your soul would fill volumes if they were written down. Strategies were deployed, and counter-strategies were implemented. The enemy thought he had found loopholes, and those loopholes were closed. He thought he had discovered access points, and those access points were sealed. You have been the subject of intense spiritual warfare at the highest levels, and you have emerged victorious not because of your own fighting, but because of the one who fights for you. Now let me tell you in specific detail what is about to happen in your life within the next 40 days. The first promise concerns vindication that is already in motion as you receive these words. Those who participated in your pain, whether they knew they were being used by the enemy or not, are about to witness your elevation from a front row seat. I am not talking about revenge because revenge belongs to me alone. I am talking about divine vindication that requires no action on your part whatsoever. The same people who wrote you off as finished will watch you rise higher than they ever climbed. The same voices that spoke over you that you would never amount to anything meaningful will have to acknowledge publicly what I am doing through you. The same faces that looked at you with contempt and pity will look at you with confusion and amazement as they try to understand how you went from where you were to where you are going. Within 40 days, you will receive concrete, tangible evidence that vindication has begun to manifest. It might be an unexpected apology from someone who deeply wronged you. It might be recognition from someone who repeatedly overlooked you. It might be opportunity from an unexpected source that proves beyond doubt you were not forgotten. Watch for it with expectation. Receive it with gratitude. And give me all the glory when it comes, because it comes from me alone. The second promise concerns complete restoration of everything that was stolen during the years of relentless attack. I am not just stopping the bleeding in your life. I am refunding every loss with interest. What the enemy took through financial warfare is being released back to you multiplied. What was stolen through relational betrayal is being restored through connections of unprecedented depth, loyalty, and divine purpose. What was depleted through health attacks is being replenished with vitality and energy you have not experienced in years. This is not just recovery to where you were before. This is overcompensation far beyond what you lost. I restored double for trouble. I returned 7 times what the thief stole. I do not just break even in my economy. I break records and exceed expectations. Before this month ends, you will see the first installments of restoration beginning to manifest in your daily life. Resources that seemed lost forever will mysteriously reappear. Relationships that seemed completely dead will experience unexpected resurrection. Energy that seemed permanently depleted will return to your body in ways that surprise even you. The third promise concerns acceleration that defies all natural timelines and human logic. Because the enemy delayed you unfairly for so many years, I am going to accelerate you supernaturally to compensate. The years the locusts ate are being returned through divine compression of time itself. What should naturally take a decade will happen in mere months. What should require years of climbing will happen through sudden elevation that bypasses the normal process. You are about to experience fast-tracked blessings that skip normal procedures and protocols. Promotions without paying traditional dues. Connections without going through typical networking channels. Opportunities that bypass standard qualifications and open doors that your resume alone could never open. This supernatural acceleration will confuse those who watch your life with purely natural eyes and understanding. They will not be able to comprehend or explain how you advanced so quickly from where you were, but you will know the truth. You will remember all the years of hidden preparation in the wilderness. You will understand that the acceleration is not skipping steps, but rather receiving delayed credit for steps already taken during the difficult seasons. My treasured one, I have specific instructions for you that require your immediate attention and complete obedience. First, you must fully and completely forgive everyone who was used against you during these years of intense attack. Some of them knew exactly what they were doing when they hurt you. They made conscious choices to wound you and showed no remorse. Some were completely unaware that they were being used as instruments of your destruction, manipulated by forces beyond their understanding. Regardless of their awareness level or original intention, you must release them all without exception. This instruction is not about them deserving forgiveness. Most of them absolutely do not deserve it by any human standard of justice. This is about you deserving freedom from the prison of bitterness. As long as you hold them captive in the chains of unforgiveness, you remain locked in a cell right next to them. Your complete liberation requires their complete release. Speak their names out loud right now, wherever you are. every single person who hurt you during these difficult years. Every face that appears in your memory connected to pain, betrayal, and suffering. And then say these words over each and every one. I forgive you fully. I release you from all debt you owe me. I hand you over to the righteous judge and remove myself completely from the case. I am free and I am moving forward. The moment you complete this act of radical forgiveness, chains that have been restricting your breakthrough for years will fall off instantly. Watch how quickly things begin to shift in every area of your life once the poison of bitterness is fully released from your system. Second, you must formally and verbally renounce every agreement you made with the lies spoken over you during your weakest moments. During the attacks, when you were weak and vulnerable and desperate, you unconsciously accepted certain lies as truth. You agreed when the enemy whispered that you were worthless and would never amount to anything. You nodded internally when he declared that you would never recover from what had happened. You accepted the verdict that your best days were behind you and your future held nothing but more struggle. Those agreements gave the enemy legal spiritual access to continue his assault far longer than he should have been able to. They created doorways through which darkness could keep entering your life even after the initial attacks should have ended. Tonight, you are closing every single one of those doors permanently and irrevocably. Say this declaration out loud with authority. I renounce every agreement I have ever made with lies about my identity and my future. I reject completely the enemy's assessment of my worth and potential. I cancel every word curse that has been spoken over me, whether by others or by my own foolish mouth. I declare that I am who God says I am, and I am going where God says I am going. Every lie is exposed. Every agreement is broken. Every doorway is sealed with the blood of Jesus. Third, you must begin immediately to speak your new reality into existence through consistent declaration. You have been speaking the language of survival for too long. Now it is time to speak the language of thriving. You have been confessing your problems and struggles. Now it is time to confess your promises and victories. You have been describing your limitations in detail. Now it is time to declare your destiny with bold faith. Every single morning for the next 40 days, before engaging with any other voice or responsibility, speak these declarations over your life. I am victorious over every attack the enemy has launched against me. What was meant for my destruction has become the foundation for my testimony. I am walking in accelerated blessing and divine vindication. My enemies will watch me rise, and my doubters will acknowledge my God. Your words are creating the spiritual atmosphere for your breakthrough to manifest. Your declarations are building the landing strip in the natural realm for blessings that are already in flight from heaven. Speak consistently without wavering, and watch how quickly your visible reality begins to conform to your faithful confession. My faithful one, there is a fourth instruction that is critical for this season of transition. You must prepare your life for increase by creating space for what is coming. The enemy has trained you to think small. He has convinced you that survival is the goal, not thriving. He has shrunk your expectations to match your circumstances rather than your destiny. This thinking must change immediately. Begin to make practical preparations for the abundance that is approaching. Clean out the cluttered spaces in your home that represent the chaos the enemy created. Organize your finances as if increase is coming, because it is. Update your resume even if you are not job hunting, because promotion finds prepared people. This is not presumption. This is faith with feet. You are not demanding blessing. You are positioning yourself to receive what has already been declared over your life. When the breakthrough comes, and it is coming, you want to be ready to steward it well. Look at your life through the lens of where you are going, not where you have been. The enemy wants you perpetually focused on your past failures and struggles. I want you focused on your future victories and triumphs. Shift your gaze from the rearview mirror to the windshield. The people around you may not understand the changes they see in you. They are accustomed to you operating in survival mode. When they see you preparing for increase, some will mock. Some will question your sanity. Some will try to pull you back into the mindset of limitation. Do not let their unbelief infect your faith. They cannot see what I have shown you in this message. They have not heard what I have spoken over your life. You are operating on revelation that they do not have access to. Walk in what you know, not in what they doubt. My faithful one, let me speak directly now to your true identity, because this is the foundation of everything else that will happen. You are not a victim, and you never were a victim, even during the worst attacks. Even during the darkest days of assault, you were always a victor in training. The enemy saw a target to destroy. I saw a warrior being forged in fire. The enemy saw someone to eliminate. I saw someone I was developing for unprecedented impact that would change countless lives. You carry something within you that terrifies the powers of darkness every time they sense your presence. There is an anointing on your life that the enemy has been desperately trying to snuff out since before you were even born into this world. He attacked your family before you arrived. He attacked your childhood to wound you early. He attacked your health, your finances, your relationships, your mind, your emotions, all because he recognized what I placed inside you and how dangerous you would become to his kingdom. But you survived every single attack, every last one. You are still standing. You are completely undefeatable, not because of your own strength or wisdom, but because of whose hands hold you securely. Greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world, and the one who lives inside you has never lost a single battle in all of history. The generational patterns of destruction that have marked your family line for generations are ending with you. The repeating cycles of poverty, addiction, broken relationships, and premature death that have characterized your bloodline are being broken at your feet in this moment. You are not continuing the family pattern. You are changing it permanently. Your children will inherit victory instead of defeat. Your grandchildren will grow up watching someone who overcame instead of someone who succumbed. Your testimony will reshape your entire family tree for generations to come. The enemy knows all of this about you. That is precisely why he tried so desperately hard to take you out before you could step into your calling. You are the one your ancestors prayed for without knowing your name. You are the breakthrough generation they hoped would come. You are the turning point for your entire bloodline. My dear one, the tears flowing down your face right now as you receive these words are not weakness or embarrassment. They are release and cleansing. Years of accumulated pressure finally finding an exit. The stored up pain finally having permission to leave your body and soul. Let them flow freely without trying to control them. Each tear is carrying out trauma that has been stored in your soul for far too long. Each drop is cleansing you for what comes next. You may feel tingling in your hands or warmth spreading through your body right now. These physical sensations are spiritual confirmation of what is happening in the unseen realm. Your physical body is responding to the shift occurring in the spiritual atmosphere around your life. Let the sensations wash over you completely. Let them anchor these truths in places where doubt can never reach them. Something significant is breaking off of you right now in this very moment. Demonic assignments that have been attached to your life for years are losing their grip and being forced to release you. The enemy's access points are being identified and permanently sealed. His legal rights over areas of your life are being revoked by divine decree. You are being set free in ways you will recognize and experience over the coming days and weeks. My cherished one, there is something happening in the spiritual realm right now as you receive these words that I want you to be aware of. The enemy is watching this moment with growing alarm. He can sense that something is shifting in your life. The atmosphere around you is changing in ways he cannot stop. The words being spoken over you are creating realities he cannot prevent. He will try one more time to steal what is being deposited in you right now. In the hours and days after receiving this message, he will launch counterattacks designed to make you doubt everything you have heard. He will send voices of skepticism. He will create circumstances that seem to contradict what has been promised. He will whisper that nothing has really changed and that you were foolish to believe. Do not listen to him. He is a liar and the father of lies. He has been lying to you for years, and he is not going to stop now just because you have received truth. His desperation is actually evidence that what you have received is real. If nothing had happened, he would not bother attacking. When the doubt comes, and it will come, return to this message. Read it again, or listen to it again. Let the truth wash over you fresh. Remember what was spoken and declared over your life on this day. Keep a record of every manifestation of breakthrough that occurs in the coming weeks. Write them down, small things and large things, unexpected provisions and sudden opportunities, apologies received and recognitions given. Document the evidence so that when the enemy tries to convince you nothing is happening, you have a written record that proves him wrong. Share your testimony as it unfolds. Tell someone what you received today. Speak it out loud. There is power in testimony that the enemy cannot overcome. When you declare what God is doing, you strengthen the reality of it in the natural realm, and you weaken the enemy's ability to steal it. The angels that have been assigned to your protection are not leaving their posts. They are actually increasing their activity as the transition accelerates. You are not alone in this journey from attack to triumph. You are surrounded by heavenly resources that are fighting for you even when you sleep. Watch for signs of confirmation in the coming days. They may come through unexpected sources. A song on the radio that speaks directly to your situation. A message from a stranger that carries words only I would know to speak. A dream in the night that reveals what is happening behind the scenes. These signs are not coincidences. They are heaven's way of confirming what has been declared. My cherished one, do you remember what I told you at the very beginning of this message? The enemy tried with everything he had to destroy you. He launched his best and most effective attacks. He coordinated his most sophisticated strategies. He deployed his most powerful weapons and his most skilled demons. And he failed completely and utterly to accomplish his goal. You are still here. You made it through every attack, and now you are about to step boldly into everything he tried so desperately to prevent. The setback is becoming a setup for unprecedented breakthrough. The attack is becoming a powerful testimony. The years of warfare are becoming a platform for my glory to be displayed. Go in victory, my child. Not victory you earned through your own efforts, but victory I secured completely on your behalf. The battle was won before it ever began. You were always going to survive because I ordained your survival before time began. Go in supernatural acceleration, my precious one. The delays are over. The waiting is done. What should take years will happen in months. What should require decades will unfold in single seasons. Time itself is bending to my purposes for your life. Go in divine vindication, my beloved. Not vindication you seek through your own efforts, but vindication I provide through my sovereign hand. Your enemies will watch. Your doubters will witness. And everyone will know that the one who fights for you cannot be defeated by any power in heaven, on earth, or under the earth. The same enemy who tried to destroy you will now watch your elevation with dismay. He will see the very life he tried to end become a monument to my delivering power. He will observe the very person he attacked, becoming a deliverer for countless others trapped in the same darkness. What the enemy meant for evil, I am turning completely for good. Not just your personal good, but the good of countless others who will be freed through your powerful testimony. Rise, my warrior. Rise from the ashes of what tried to destroy you. Rise into the fullness of what was prepared for you before the foundation of the world was laid. The story that the enemy tried to write for your life has been rejected and burned. A new story is being written now by hands that create galaxies. The ending he planned has been replaced with an ending he dreads. The destruction he orchestrated has been transformed into a foundation for unprecedented construction. You are not who the attacks tried to make you. You are not defined by the years of struggle. You are not limited by what you lost during the warfare. You are who I say you are, and I say you are victorious. I say you are chosen. I say you are destined for greatness that will echo through eternity. The people who watched your struggle will watch your elevation. Those who pitied you will celebrate you. Those who doubted you will marvel at what I accomplished through you. Your testimony will become the most powerful weapon in your arsenal because it proves that the enemy's best efforts are no match for my plans. Every tear you cried during the attacks has been collected and is being returned to you as joy. Every sleepless night is being compensated with peaceful rest. Every moment of despair is being replaced with moments of overwhelming hope. Nothing was wasted. Everything was preparation. The breakthrough you are entering is not temporary. It is not a brief respite before more struggle. This is permanent change. This is new season establishment. This is the end of one era and the beginning of another that will last for the rest of your days. The enemy tried to destroy you, but I have other plans, and my plans always prevail. Always, without any exception, in every situation throughout all of history, forever and ever. Now go and walk confidently in what I have prepared for you. Your victory is complete. Save this message and return to it whenever doubt attacks. Let these words remind you of what was declared over your life on this day. Share it with others who are facing similar battles. Your breakthrough will inspire their breakthrough. Your testimony will fuel their faith. The war is over. The enemy lost. You won. Now, walk in the victory that was purchased for you. and prepared for you before time began. I always keep my promises, always, without exception, forever.